Christians have this belief that if you're struggling, then it's not from God, and that if the Lord has called you to something, it's going to be easy. Well, this is one of the biggest misconceptions in the church. We follow the pattern of Jesus's life, and Jesus said, pick up your cross and follow me. And what that means is that everything you're going to have to bear is going to be difficult. What we're talking about in the suffering and the struggle and the fight is the really important things that God is calling you to do. It's the big things. We see Jesus birthing miracles, healing people, and this looked so effortless, and it was so effortless. But then when he came to the biggest thing that he was going to be birthing, which was to walk into his purpose and birth our nation, the fight was hard. Like, we literally see him sweat blood. When it's the really big important things that are going to devastate the darkness that God has called you to do, you're going to struggle. You're going to be in your garden of Gethsemane. You're going to experience your version of what it is to sweat blood, like Jesus sweat blood in reality, so that we don't have to. It's knowing what that looks like. The scripture says, be still and let Yahweh fight your battle for you. Jesus said everything is finished, that he's already overcome, and this is correct and this is true. But this doesn't mean that we're not going to have to still pick up our cross and do some heavy lifting that is heavy for us. Let Yahweh fight. That is telling you, don't fight in your own strength. It's not saying everything is going to be easy. This is where Christians get confused. We think that, okay, yeah, God's supposed to fight for us, so I just sit here and do nothing. Well, no, you don't just sit here and do nothing. What God has conceived in you, it's your job to birth it, to push it out, but it's his job to bring it to birth. And so you've got to understand there's a partnership happening here. You're not on your own and you can't ruin it. We're going to go through some hard times carrying our crosses, because there are many things that need to die in the flesh. And as a church, we need to get on that cross, and we need to put the flesh on that cross and put it to death, so that we can walk and live. We can birth the fruits that God's ordained us to birth. Because currently the flesh is kind of like, it's in the way. The humanity must decrease so that Christ can increase. And it hurts and it's hard. This is a real war that we're fighting. Jesus has brought us into eternity. He's brought us into the eternal Shabbat. You have to also, though, walk your journey in birthing things and going through the warfare. Jesus has set the tone. So you fight now from a place of rest. You fight now from a place of Shabbat. You fight now from a place of eternity.